Hey there, I hope you're doing good. I'm going to do a pour today, and I'm doing it on an 18 by 24 inch canvas, and I just couldn't wait to get back into painting after having a weekend away, a holiday weekend. Went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee in the mountains. It was cold and rainy, but I enjoyed being in a cabin in the woods of the mountains, and I'm just happy to be back home, happy to be near my paints, and happy to be able to do something for you again. So today I'm going to pour on a black canvas, but my actual base coat is going to be brown instead of black. So I'm using Artist Loft Raw Umber, which is in this cup. I've got Liquitex Basics Unbleached Titanium. This one is the Artist Loft Deep Red. This one is Artist Loft Yellow Ochre. And then I have a color in a cup that I've pre-mixed that started as Soho Red Ochre, but then I've added oranges and golds and things like that. So it is now kind of a rusty color, kind of a pumpkin rusty color. And then I also have, in a little cup, I have some metallic orange that I may or may not use. That was Artist Loft, and that's metallic orange there. But I had in mind, I saw someone's painting and it kind of inspired me to do something a little bit on the similar side. And it was kind of abstract looking, and I thought that would be really cool, but I would like to do more of the browns, golds, that coloration. All of my colors are mixed 1-to-1 with Oatrol Easy Flow, which is just like Floetrol. Easy Flow gives me product to demo for you, and I actually prefer it over Floetrol, but it is the same thing as Floetrol. So don't worry if you cannot get Easy Flow. You can either get Easy Flow from oatrolusa.com or from Amazon in the link below my video. Most of these things that I use are in the link below my video. I'm not putting silicone in any of my colors today. The only one that might have some in it would be the orange color. So that one was an older color I had mixed, and it may have some silicone, but if so, that will be the only color that does have it. I have my butcher paper right here, and underneath the butcher paper is a plastic tray. This is a puppy liner tray for a dog kennel. It is plastic. It does have a little give on the bottom. It's got a plastic bottom, and it does not lay perfectly flat, so just be aware of that when you are pouring your paints to make sure that your canvas is level. I've got some of my tools here. I've got my old store card that I use for swiping. I've got my palette knife that's oval and has, it's probably an inch and a half long, and it's an oval shape, and I don't like the pointy squared off ones. I kind of like the roundedness of this one. I also have my Wilton Easy Glide icing and fondant spreader, and that just helps you put on the base coat a little bit easier. I'm wondering if I turn this, if you can see the whole canvas. I'm going to attempt this after I move some stuff out of the way. Because I would really like to go this way, because that's the way I see this painting being oriented, is vertically instead of horizontally. I am zoomed all the way out. My camera is a little closer to the table than usual, so there's the bottom of the canvas, and there's the top. So you're right in frame, right like that. So I'm going to try it that way instead. So you can still see my colors off to the side here, and I've got my skewer and straw both straws. And I'm going to move these colors out of the way. I bought some Modern Masters copper, and I'm wondering if I'd like to add it in there. But no, I don't want any silicone. I have a squeeze bottle with copper in it, but it has silicone in it. This copper is so bright and brilliant, it's just gorgeous. So again, this is Modern Masters, and I do not remember where I got it. I got it either at a craft store. I might have even gotten it at Joann's, to be honest. I'm not sure. It's always fun to have a little bit of metallic in a painting. So Modern Masters Copper Semi-Opaque, which means it's semi-transparent, but more opaque than transparent. And I might have gotten it at Lowe's or Home Depot. I just do not remember, to be honest. So I'm going to add my Floetrol and hope that I'm not straining it, hoping that I won't get any lumps in it. So you use a 1-to-1 ratio. Same amount of Oatrol or Floetrol as paint. I'm just going to take my stir stick from the red and use it here. It won't matter. Again, I'm not going to put any silicone in anything, but the rusty color does have silicone in it. So this is very much like a deep copper penny color. It's really pretty, very sparkly. But I really wanted earth tones in this pour. It's a little bit thick. So I'm going to take my bottle that has water and Oatrol. I use 90% water and 10% Oatrol or Floetrol, either way. So you put just a little bit of that Oatrol or Floetrol into your water, and it just mixes into your paint mixture just a little bit better than typically just straight out water. And you want to keep your pigment and color really saturated, so you don't want to wet it down too much with water. Some people say, can I do an acrylic pour just with water and paint? And my answer is no. It's going to basically just be like doing a watercolor painting. And you're not going to have cell action, and it's not going to do the beautiful things that paint does with Floetrol or something like that, but it's a medium that's added to it, which extends the drying time and makes your paint flow better and gives it that opportunity to intermingle with other colors and do the magic. So if you just use paint and water, you're just going to put watercolor mixture on your canvas. So you might as well just do a watercolor painting. It's not going to be the same thing. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to this brown, because I know off the top of my head it's already on the thick side. I had mixed it a little bit earlier and I left it kind of thick, but I'm going to water it down just a little bit here. Even with adding a little bit more water into this mixture right here, I probably don't even have 10% water in this cup of paint. And all of these paints are tube paints, which are always thicker, but you just don't need a ton of water in it. And so I'll go ahead and put my brown down on the black and use my spreader here. And because this is not black paint, you can actually see through it just a little bit. Like here's the stretcher bar through the middle, so I've got to make sure that that's thicker in the middle so that that bar does not show. But I'm going to need more paint, so I'm just going to pour this around the outside. And I'm probably going to have to mix up some more brown because I want to have some just in case I want to include it in the design. I'm not sure, I could probably get by without it. So again, the tray that is underneath my butcher paper is a puppy liner tray that goes in a kennel. And you can also use a washing machine tray liner, which both of these are in my Amazon link below my videos. So you can find them there. The puppy tray was just a little bit more, it was cheaper than the washing machine. But the washing machine is going to, usually be about 30 by 30 inches, and this one is maybe 21 by 30 inches, so it's a little bit, narrow. I'm also making sure that I've got my paint around the sides so that I have brown edges to match the top. This is a 7-ounce cup, so I probably had about 6.5 ounces in that cup, and that's exactly how much it took to cover this canvas. Of course, part of that was paint and part was Floetrol or Oetrol. There's also a chart. If you come to my Facebook group and join me there, there's a chart that I have there that will tell you how much paint to use for the size of canvas that you're working on, which is always really handy to refer to. So I'm looking for a plastic container, and it's here at the end of my table, and here I was looking all this time. I actually found this little, they're like little metal loaf pans, and they come 3 and 4 to a pack. I'm just going to pour it in here. I think it'll work fine. So I'm going to put a little red, and I'm just going to kind of do a gradient thing and kind of overlap the colors. I'm also going to use a little bit of black. This does not have silicone in it either. And I'm dripping on my canvas. I don't want a lot of the cream color. Okay. So I had quite a bit that came off the end of the canvas here. So that totally did not come out like I expected it to do at all. And as you can see, with the little tiny bit of OGX or silicone that was in the orange, it made a ton of cells. So it most likely had OGX in it. I kind of wish I had not used the black. So this would be what I would call a large ribbon pour. And the reason I like to not put silicone is because then you get more of a gradient feel of your paint and you don't have all the intermixing with the cells. So that's why I really didn't want the cell structures. So I'm going to go back over a portion of this. This time I'm going to add a little bit of that metallic orange. Kind of just going over all of it, really. So wherever the weight of your paint is where it's going to flow quicker. If your area of paint is on the thinner side, it's going to lay there and not move much at all. I really kind of want to get rid of this area here, so I think what I'm going to do is just swipe my card through it. I still have my heat gun. I just decided to pull my torch out and I've been playing with it the last week or so because some people like to use the torch and I typically use the gun, so I decided to pull out the torch just to show people that I can use the torch too. I'm trying to do something right on this area here because I'm not digging what's going on with the colors. So sometimes I just like to create patterns. It's just fun. I just enjoy doing it. If I don't like an area, I just figure out a way to change it. Like right here is copper and that neon metallic orange right beside each other, and I don't care for that. So I'm just going to find a way to put a little bit of color somewhere through this. See, I can take a skewer and drag some of that color out. So I planned on there being brown negative space, and there's very little of it at all. So, and here's a little spot I do not care for, which is copper, but it looks almost like a film over the colors. So I'm just going to lay down some color in that area. So this would be what I call one of my weirder ones, but I like it better than when I first poured it. So sometimes you just have to keep working until you reach a place where you're satisfied. And you know, there's the question, when do I know when it's finished? You just kind of know when it's finished for you. And there's going to be people that don't care for it, and there's going to be people that love it. So you just have to get kind of used to that in the art world in general. There's going to be people that have different tastes from one end of the spectrum to the other, and you can't please everyone. You just have to be happy with what you're doing yourself. So that's the key, is to paint for the joy of it and to love what you're doing. And just, if you're pleased with the outcome, that is what is important. And there will be someone that will love it. There's some beautiful drips under the canvas. I've got lots of paint. So what I do is I just let it dry on the butcher paper, and then I can peel it up and use it for acrylic skins and that kind of thing. So do not despair. I do use my leftover paints for making skins and sometimes the backgrounds of paintings. So I do try to take full advantage of the paint that I've used in every way that I can. You're always going to waste a little bit. That's just unavoidable with acrylic pouring. That's the nature of this kind of painting, is there is going to be some waste of paint. But I do try to minimize it if I can. I could even go in and trickle in a little brown. If I wanted to, you know. You're not, you know, hooked on anything to the degree that you can't change it somehow. So you can always adjust your painting to what feels good to you. Okay, I think I'm done with this one. I'll just pick the tray up, bring it to you so you can see more closely. So I didn't add silicone or OGX to any of the paints, but just that little bit of OGX that was in the orange color gave it an explosion of cells. So that just shows you how people overuse OGX or silicone sometimes, and that's why they don't get cells. I think it's because you're putting too much into your colors. So consider using very, very little. It goes a long way. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Check out all the links below my video. Down underneath the video, there's my Facebook group, PayPal, my Patreon page, my Amazon link with all the recommendations, my website. Go follow me on Instagram at Sandra_Lett, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm so excited. I get to share this with you. I ordered a sample of a 2019 calendar with my designs in it. It is 11 inches across, 8.5 inches deep. So when you open it up, it is 17 inches long. And so what I did is I put my favorite all-time paintings in each month. So that's January. February is the Koi Realm. March is Boom, which is a digital manipulation of a painting. The Martagon Lily is April. May is Proud as a Peacock. June is Fluffy Fish. July is Celebration. August is Mutual Attraction. September is Fiesta. October is Halloween. November is Meraki. December is Bold Flower. So, there is my 2019 with the Wings of Love on the very front. So this is a heavy quality luster satin finish paper, so it's not super glossy and it's not flat, it's just perfect. And this is something you can also take and cut out and frame later on for artwork if you would like. So I am taking pre-orders for this, and I will be posting a link in the video for your pre-orders, and I will be taking them for the next probably 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, because I'll have to get the order in time for them to get here before Christmas to get them shipped off. And you'll have to pay a small shipping fee if you're in the United States. I don't think I can ship outside of the United States. I'm not sure that I'll have time to do that before 2019 begins. But I would love for you to click on the link and get your copy of the 2019 calendar. I'm super excited about this. Thank you.